Hey folks, and welcome to another video from aplaintruth.info. It's Friday, September 15th, 2017. I'm getting some of my viewers are maybe getting reader fatigued from all the news. Some people have been commenting that they've just basically passed over what happened to Hurricane Harvey. Forget about New Orleans, the people there. They're just in the background noise. But this is still going on, folks, and we need to still pay attention, and your attention is really important, and spread it to others. They're spraying us like insects once again. U.S. Air Force, this is from September 12th, 3 days ago. 6 million acres with chemicals responses to Harvey. And yesterday in my video, I chronicled the bacteria that was causing a lot of illnesses in Florida. People having to vomiting and feeling ill, and chronicled how the solar eclipse, they were laying out balloons across the country releasing really bad bacteria. I get into it in the last video, but you should check that out. And people were getting sick, and we're under attack, folks. They're spraying us from the air, and I want to read this to you. Keep it kind of short. Pentagon announced last week it had dispatched C-130Hs. I mean, these are motherships. These are huge, huge tankers. Recovery efforts, but rebuilding. Instead, they are set to spray chemicals in order to help control pest insect populations, which they allege pose a health risk to rescue workers and residents of Houston. Rescue workers, huh? We haven't seen any of those in downtown Southwest Gulf of Mexico. The Air Force noted that the current effort is expected to significantly pass over spraying missions in scope, specifically the spraying campaigns that followed Hurricane Katrina and Rita. I was not aware that they sprayed after Katrina and Rita. Maybe you guys have some information on that. The insecticide Nagel, manufactured and sold by Monster Monsanto, just merged with Monster Bayer Pharma, Big Pharma, is currently banned in the European Union due to unacceptable risk, but they find it okay to spray on U.S. citizens. I hope you're getting pissed off. Nagel is known as a neurotoxin in animals and humans, as it inhibits the, I'm not even going to pronounce that word, an enzyme essential to nerve function and communication, and has been known to cause paralysis. Oh yeah, they're just hyping it up. No, this is real. This is a Harvard study pointed to Nagel's responsibility for the mass die-off of North American bees. What do bees provide? Food, nectar. Without bees, we go away. Just one day of Nagel spraying in South Carolina killed more than 2.5 million bees last year. Nagel poses for human health is the chemical's ability to cross the placental barrier, meaning that Nagel freely crosses from mother to fetus. University of Oslo study caused a 15% decrease in the brain size of newborn guinea pigs when their mothers were exposed for 3 days during pregnancy. Doctors from Puerto Rico have claimed that Nagel harms fetuses. Studies in the U.S. have shown that pregnant women exposed to Nagel had a 60% higher chance of having a child with autism spectrum disorder. Now they're coming out with an autism vaccine, folks, which is caused by, drumroll please, the vaccine. This is especially troubling given the manufacturer of Nagel, Sumoto Chemical Corp, is also the manufacturer of mosquito larvae, a chemical known to have been the real culprit behind the spike in birth defects in Brazil, originally attributed to the Zika virus. And Bill Gates' GMO mosquitoes, too, is AI mosquitoes he released down there. All right, so this is September 15th update. Houston prepares to be sprayed bee-killing chemicals. On Thursday, 600,000 acres, potential to kill millions of bees. Residents fear the spraying the chemical. Now it has caused unattended health conquests. Cargo planes will be filing out of Kelly Air Force Base, which may take more than 1 day. Well, we just showed where they started back on the 12th, and here they're saying they're going to keep going, and it may take more than a day. They've been spraying every day, folks. It's considered safe for the environment. Applied license applicators, including according to the label instructions. As long as they follow the label instructions, it'll all be good, they say. So another study, researchers with the University of Michigan found that 9-month-old babies in China who had the highest prenatal exposure to dibrom scored 3 to 4% lower in motor skills, including movement of hands, fingers, face, mouth, and feet, compared with children with the lowest exposure. The EU concluded that Type 18 biocidal products containing Nagel pose a potential and unacceptable risk to human health and environment. They're spraying our citizens all across the lower Southwest, Houston. Speak out, people. Recommends individuals stay indoors during the evening aerial application in treated areas as a precaution. They're not even telling the people they're spraying. How can they stay inside? Beekeepers may wish to cover their colonies to prevent bees from exiting during treatment. Right. And they talk about how the Zika sprayed for in Dorchester County, South Carolina. The following day, residents woke up to millions of dead bees. 2.5 million bees and 46 different hives on our farm were lost, completely lost. 2 insecticides to pose risk. All animals who inhabit the large, sensitive wetlands and aquatic ecosystems would be affected by the massive spraying from airplanes. Audubon says fish toxicity is a risk from both chemicals, as is the risk of inhalation and ingestion by birds and animals. It gets in through the blood-brain barrier, folks. Speak out. Be heard. This is real time. They're spraying us like bugs. Australia, they're spraying vaccines. They sprayed for the Zika virus over Miami before, and you can bet they're going to be spraying over Florida as well. What's in these things?
We couldn't help but be in the wind because we were Gulf side. My entire family got sick 3 days later. It's been 2 weeks and I'm still sick. It feels like my body is at war. My mom's a nurse practitioner and her boyfriend is a nurse who went to the shelters during Harvey, and she said everybody in the shelters were sick with this same crap. They were killing us faster and faster. What a perfect way to bring in the bugs. And I don't think she means bring in the bugs from third world countries. Yes, yeah, we ship over bacteria and viruses in these hurricanes. Oh my God. But I am hearing that people are coming down with respiratory illnesses. So what was in that hurricane? All the comments are important, but listen to this. Hey, Carol, I posted on one of your last videos about this. We took a vacation in Destin, Florida, a few days after Harvey hit and went to the beach. It was a double red flag and didn't know what that meant. Apparently the beach was closed, but we were just sitting and weren't in the water. So a lifeguard came by and told us that we needed to get off the beach. He actually stayed and chatted with my mom and ended up hesitantly saying that nobody with immune problems, or kids especially, needed to even be outside right now because there had been reports of bad respiratory infections and illnesses. He said the reason is that when a hurricane passes by third world countries, it picks up their bacteria and viruses.
Quote, while most of these tiny forms of life that exist in abundance around us won't survive the trip, it's understood that some resilient types could go dormant on the trip and then survive on the surface of other planets. In order to be prepared to keep planets we visit absolutely pristine, it's important to understand how bacteria might live there. And it goes on to explain how they're going to do. So what about the xerothermo panacillus? So Panabacillus is a genus of facultative anaerobic endospore forming bacteria. Latin pain means almost, so Panabacilla are literally almost bacilli. The genus includes P. larvae, which is known to cause American foul brood in honeybees. JDR2, which is known to be a rich source of chemical agents for biotechnology applications, and pattern-forming strains such as P. vortex and P. dentriformis, discovered in the early 90s, which are known to develop complex colonies with intricate architectures. And here you see pictures of them. Okay, so what is foul brood in honeybees? So American foul brood in honeybees, Panabacillus larvae is rod-shaped bacterium which is visible only under high-powered microscopes. Disease spreads rapidly throughout the hives as the bees attempting to remove the spore-laden dead larvae contaminate brood food. Nectar stored in contaminated cells will contain spores, and soon the brood chamber becomes filled with contaminated honey. As this honey is moved up into the supers, the entire hive becomes contaminated with spores. When the colony becomes weak from AFB infection, robber bees may enter and take contaminated honey back to their hives, thereby spreading the disease to other colonies and apiaries. Beekeepers also spread diseases by moving equipment from contaminated hives to healthy ones. American foul brood spores are extremely resistant to desiccation and can remain viable for more than 40 years in honey and beekeeping equipment. All right. So, all right, and just to wrap this up real quick, this is from the earth.nullschool.net. Seems to be a pretty good reporting of the daily activities, and here you see Jose's still out here, and don't forget about it. They're saying it's now down to tropical, but it's supposed to ramp up again. And also, this article here, this is from today. The Atlantic's expected to become Tropical Storm Lee over the next 24 hours. Here we go again. Down at the Cape Verde Islands, the same one where Irma came from. They're forecasting it many days in advance, predicting an above-average hurricane season. That's kind of after the fact. It's going to be 11 to 17 named storms, 5 to 9 hurricanes, and 2 to 4 major storms. So we got many more on the way. But I also wanted to bring you to this cool map. So this is the NullNet school, but they also have come out with a azimuthal flat Earth map, which is pretty cool if you click on it. And you can see the flat Earth map. Now, many argue the AE map and the flat Earth community is not right and everything. We have no real maps, folks. We don't know. They've been lying to us for so long. We don't know what is truth, but this is the best we have to go on. So instead of nitpicking that California and the United States couldn't be that narrow and given this map and stuff, just look at the flat Earth aspects and look at the storms going around the ice wall circle here. All right. And you can see the trends, and then you zoom in and you can see same thing with the hurricanes, with here's down at Jose down here. So I just thought it was something interesting you can click through, and thanks for Mr. Kelly for sending this to me. I really appreciate it. All right, that's all I got. Plain truth out. Stay alert, stay awake, head on a swivel, eyes open, ears open, speak out, speak your truth. All right, plain truth, peace. They're spraying us like insects once again. The U.S. Air Force, this is from September 12th, 3 days ago, 6 million acres with chemicals responses to Harvey. And yesterday in my video, I chronicled the bacteria that was causing a lot of illnesses in Florida. People having to vomiting and feeling ill, and chronicled how the solar eclipse, they were laying out balloons across the country, releasing really bad bacteria. I get into it in the last video, but you should check that out. And people were getting sick, and we're under attack, folks. They're spraying us from the air, and I want to read this to you and keep it kind of short. Pentagon announced last week, commenting that they've just basically passed over what happened to Hurricane Harvey. Forget about New Orleans, the people there. They're just in the background noise. But this is still going on, folks, and we need to still pay attention, and your attention is really important, and spread it to others. Hey, folks, and welcome to another video from plaintruth.info. It's Friday, September 15th, 2017. I'm getting some of my viewers are maybe getting reader fatigued from all the news. Some people have been